5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Project Black Podcast, episode 6. Yes, episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
And damn,
It's been a long time.
we don't really I think we be skipping out on days.
We do.
It's like you skip out on like leg day.
Yeah, right. And you
go
trying
back
to jump back, just trying to jump back
and
into
your
it.
legs are shitty. That's how I feel.
Like a rubber band.
No,
Just stretch too much. You know what I mean?
it's gonna break.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's gonna break.
I don't think we're gonna break, but we're definitely at a stretching point. We're
I
stretching
know
ourselves.
when you get out the leg presses and your leg is weak, ain't they heavy? I think that's how we feel. But now it's episode 6 today. The Random Black Kid.
To be honest, I've been waiting to talk about this for a long time now. Honestly, I've been waiting to get on the top of this show. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm sorry to cut you out.
And AJ Johnson, big man on campus.
Appreciate you guys.
And what he was talking about today is toxic femininity.
Femininity.
That's
Femininity.
toxic masculinity, toxic.
It's toxic female masculinity.
Yeah, toxic female.
That's what's going on, what it is.
Toxic female
masculinity.
So I was thinking
Yeah.
about this, and
Go ahead.
I was like, we get a lot of flack for being toxic, like men. Like we have because we can't say like little boys can't play with dolls and shit like that, right? They can't dress in like pink or anything.
Right.
And he was like, that's toxic. That's so toxic. Like, why can't they do that?
You can't put your son in a dress because that's female.
That's female attire.
Attire.
Shit like that. And I'm like,
But to me, again, clothes don't have gender roles. You do.
if it's found in the girl section, that's
who put the clothes in the girl section?
the workers.
Exactly. Think about it.
Okay, but if it's
Who made the clothes themselves? A business.
A business, yeah.
Who controls the business? A person.
Exactly.
So basically, the roles of clothes have nothing to do with who we are.
So Kamora Lee Simmons, she has her own fashion stuff. She makes it for women. Victoria's Secret for women. So you're saying a man can't go in there and get that
100%.
stuff. But who is it made for?
Hey.
Who is the selling point of it? Women.
The selling point
for the
business who's doing it
is women.
Is they're going after a certain demographic of people.
And the demographic is women.
And the demographic just to have.
So I'm not. Are you going to go to?
Of course not.
Exactly.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if I felt
it has no gender role. I understand that.
It has no.
But I'm saying you're gonna dress your little man up in some panties.
Fuck no.
Exactly.
Bro.
So
he's
what
gonna
do you
have
mean?
boxers.
So why can't he wear panties?
He can't wear panties because I don't want him to be John Tucker dunking basketball. Remember John Tucker my style?
Yeah.
Alright, so I don't want him to be like dunking the ball and shit. Getting bullied by the rest of the school because he got a thong on, bro. That's why. Now, personally, I think when we're talking about female masculinity and just male insecurities, when we talk about it, it's not like this new generation has just found themselves. It's just that these girls are thoughts out in these streets, bro. Like, they really are some, like, home wreckers and some heartbreakers. Mm-hmm. Like, when we're talking about these females, we're talking about the females who only go after guys when they're in a relationship. You're toxic. You're hurting.
I mean, I don't know if that's...
That is toxic behavior, bro. The only time you start to realize dudes are cute when they sitting there with somebody else.
But what if she was already going after that dude?
If she was already going after that dude and that dude
that's what I'm saying, he already got, yeah.
Yo, she's a dove. She's supposed to let it go. What are you going after for?
But some guy, that goes,
exactly.
Let it go sometimes as well.
Exactly, still male, it's toxic. It's like the dude, if you with your baby moms, right, and you decide to break up with your baby moms, and then as soon as your baby moms gets another dude around your kid, now all of a sudden you want to put your family back together. That's toxic male masculinity, right? But if a female, like vice versa, she lead a dude with the kid.
That's toxic behavior.
That's toxic behavior. We should definitely not We should not condone those people, bro. Those people are horrible individuals for that.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just like
I just don't know because it's just like
it's just like we go after they go after us. Like,
yeah.
Females go, and then you got the male feminists. They go after us too.
Yeah, of course.
And then we have the females, the feminists and all, and they go after us for being toxic. And I'm like, well, y'all showing toxic behavior as well. So
Let me ask you a question. Last night I was up to like 4 in the morning, right? And the person I was on the phone with gave an idea, and I really think it might be probably the most progressive thing I've ever heard. But for women, it's a progressive thing for women. Do you think our country should make dudes, when they turn 18, get vasectomies?
no, what the fuck?
Versus girls have to wait till they're 25 to get their tubes tied with 2 kids in a marriage.
Why would they have to be valid? Why?
Okay,
Why
so
is
they
it
break
the
down everybody
law
else
you like
watching. That's why-
18, you turn 18, they like, no, bro, it's time for your...
It's time for you to take responsibility. It's time for you to take responsibility for your testicles.
No.
So it gets rid of the whole debate between pro-life and anti-choice. Like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it gets rid of that conversation because it's not women anymore. It's all us. They can't get pregnant without ours. Like,
I mean, they
you know
can.
what I mean?
I already know.
You know, like they would have to get inseminated by like rape or us
They have
consciously nutting inside of them.
No, they have. I'm pretty sure scientists can come up with a fucking way
For what?
Without us to get a girl pregnant.
You know what? They're probably working on a way right now. But I'm just saying, if they're working on a way,
And
why not go this way?
Feminists would be the first one to jump in on that.
I'm just saying they would be, and they would be anti us. But I'm just saying, like, why
They'd
would
be
they?
like, oh, we can get pregnant without men? Then sign me up.
I mean, it would. I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm just asking.
No, I'm just saying.
How would you feel about that? Like that?
No, why the fuck do I have to get my testicles chopped off?
Because you're not getting your wait.
You
You're not getting vasectomy is not your nuts getting chopped off. It's a 2-inch needle going inside of one of your nuts, and it just basically turns off your nutsack itself. Like your nutsack has a switch, and it's all you gotta do is take a needle. 3 days later, you feel perfectly fine, and you go back and bust your nuts.
You can also get like a vasectomy, get your nuts chopped off as well.
I mean, that's a castration, not nuts getting chopped. So that's a completely different thing.
I'm positive that's another way.
Why would someone do that to us though? Like, think about it. Men are the people who lead in science and health. So if we're talking about vasectomies, why would we make it painful for ourselves? Why would we cut nut sacks off? Exactly, we wouldn't. We made a 2-inch needle. It goes right into one of your nut sacks, and then like a light switch, your nuts don't work anymore. No, all right. I'm just saying. It's an idea that I feel like
castration, vasectomy.
Not vasectomy, not castration.
I'm just saying.
Talk about
it's either way.
as a people because
Either way, you don't have nuts.
I mean, it's better than the alternative. Your girl getting her tubes tied. She has to literally have a surgery, which surgeries lead to death more times than not. So she has to get her like fucking ovary. I know we're talking about female, there's a point. There's a point for this shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, for dudes, we care about our girl. You know what I mean?
Some more than others.
Some of them more than others.
Some more than others.
Some more than others. But I'm just saying, when females say that all dudes ain't shit, it makes the dude who's giving a fuck look horrible. You know what I mean? It makes the people who are trying to make that relationship work. Like, for example, Will never cheated. I mean, it looks suspicious.
No, they said that he did some weird shit with.
He did
Dwayne
weird
Martin.
shit. He did weird shit.
With Dwayne Martin, it was like the whole little thing.
He did weird shit. Never cheated. Fuck Jada for that though.
I'm pretty sure
she used that man's heart to build up her own self, and that is toxic femininity.
She was fucking Tupac.
I mean, that's not the same. Tupac and her been friends since high school though.
I'm just saying, either way.
That's not the same, bro. Like Jada and Tupac were like from the same high school, went to the same arts institution in Maryland. So I can understand why they even fell in love with one another. They were like high school sweethearts. Will was just Will. You know what I mean? Will was just a dude who was clapping the booty cheeks Monday through Friday. Tupac was a questionable Saturday night and Sunday afternoon.
Nah, I mean, if they were dating, then I was like every night.
God damn.
With them. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. That's not my business. That's their business.
Neither here for that. Neither here nor there. I'm just saying. I feel like.
So is you saying she was toxic for doing that?
Yeah, very toxic, and she hurt 2 people in the process.
That's August's fault. August know damn well what's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, he got hired to be a thought, but at the same time,
That doesn't break this. Why is this already getting broken if he knew what type of time she was?
because
on?
he fell in love with the pussy.
Then that's his fault, tender dick.
Oh, that's
That's
crazy.
his fault, tender
I
dick.
mean, that's the kind of toxic male behavior that we're talking about.
That's your fault. You fell in love with a married woman.
Yo, so
Because she said, I'm lonely. My husband stopped talking to me for a little bit. We went on a break and now we're sleeping together. And you fall in love with her? Whose fault is that?
that's nobody's
And
fault.
they're still, that's his fault.
I'm telling you, that's nobody's fault.
That is
though.
his fault. If you sitting there falling in love with a married woman because she wanted one night with you or one weekend or whatever the hell they was doing, and then you fall in love with her and knowing damn well she's still gonna go back to that
No,
same
man,
person,
man.
guess whose fault it is?
Nobody.
That's your fault. That's your
You
fault.
should not have gotten. Let's put it like this.
She should never.
She should never had to cross the line.
Yes.
And he
She
should have never
did
did
that.
But at the same time, I never blame the third party for
always
the
do
situation.
No.
Why would you blame the third
That's
party?
your fault.
Think
You
about
knew
it.
it. You knew it.
Okay, so if you get
you was a home wrecker.
you're not the home wrecker.
See?
What kind of bullshit is that?
If you know Will and Jada still married,
Bro,
You know Will
fuck
and Jada.
that. Fuck that.
You know there's
no such thing as a home wrecker. Somebody
Why
steps
isn't it?
out of the marriage and they fuck up the home. It has nothing to do with anybody. What if she was fucking a girl?
But
Then would
time
she
out,
be a fucking home wrecker?
Yes, you would.
No, how, bro?
Yes.
You can't be a home wrecker if you weren't in the home. You didn't
Right,
walk
it
over there
don't
and mouse
matter.
that
Who
bitch.
the carry them is not in a home. It's not total home record doesn't mean you're
Fuck
in their
that.
house. No,
Fuck that.
total home record is there.
And
That
I'm telling
married
you,
couple is in the
I'm
house.
telling you,
with
that
them.
shit right there doesn't make any sense to me.
Why doesn't it?
How? How are you the home wrecker? Because you fucked somebody who was in a marriage.
Because
They came to you
They came
too.
to you, but then guess what? You had the option of saying yes or no.
Well, okay, so did the person they were married to. They both all they had the
No, but
option
no,
to
the
say married
person,
to.
the person married is still a home record as well.
There's no
But I'm
reason
saying-
as well. There is the one person who fucked the marriage up, and then there's the other person
You jumped
who
in on that shit, so you helped fuck the
How are
marriage up.
you helping? Okay, let's say it
And-
like this. If she went out and just started making a fucking sex rampant, right? And just had 1,300 kids walking around getting fucked by everybody, right? Just like some random sex
How's
rampant. Is
that
she
like-
now a home wrecker or is she now just like some random fucking villain in the world? It's the same thing. She's a home wrecker. Has nothing to do with what's going on or who she was doing it with. She stepped out of her marriage.
And he had a choice, yes or no?
No, he had what choice?
Tell him, what do you say
What
you didn't have
choice
a
are you
choice?
talking
She put a
about?
gun to his head and
So
was
you
like,
mean
sleep
to tell
with
me
me?
that Jada Pinkett came to you and offered you some free pussy with no mind, no mental lapse, no emotional connection?
If you're a married
taking that
person, if
pussy?
you're a married person, no. Because
What? Yo,
No,
what
that's
kind of
fucked
shit is
up.
that?
Because you're a married person.
Bro.
I have morals. What the hell? Like,
Your
I'm not gonna sit there-
morals?
I'm not
Fuck
gonna sit there
that.
and do
Morals
that.
are just guides that we
Oh,
use
now,
for
okay.
ourselves, bro.
Well,
It's not the same
August has no.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with August. I
That
don't
is-
blame the third party, bro.
You have to. You have
Why?
to
Like, the dog just ran into the fucking room. You think I'm gonna blame the dog for her action? She heard somebody talking. She thought our energy was getting up, so she wanted to go with us. That has nothing to do with the dog
You
being
can't-
up,
you
like a
can't do
home
that.
fucking
You can't.
breaking up the video
First of
or
all, no,
anything.
time out.
I'm just saying.
Time out. August had a choice. He could have said no. What did he say? Yes.
So that makes him a home wrecker?
No, that just makes him that. He's a part of that. He's a part of that.
How is he a part of their
Because
marriage?
you had. What? He just literally slept
Okay.
with somebody's wife.
There's two people in a marriage.
Two people.
Two
and
people.
then one goes off.
And
sleeps
one
with
goes
somebody.
off. That has nothing to do with what the fuck they do. Why do you give a
does.
fuck about the trail? What's the point of the story, B?
The point of the story is he's also a part of that.
Why?
Why? Because he had a choice. You saying
What do you mean? Okay, if his name was August, if his name was
if he was just a random person, he
Just a
still that
random
person
person.
had a choice. That
Okay,
person
so
still had a
what
choice.
does that matter though? She walked out of her marriage. He didn't entice her to come out. And even if he did entice her to come out, she still walked out.
Okay, so if you were married and then you went out,
yo,
and then
if I was married
and you went out and
if
it was
I was married,
celebrity or not celebrity, and you asked a girl like, hey, like my wife is doing this, does that lady have a choice? Yes or no?
yo, that's not what we're talking about.
Yes,
we're talking about, you're
choice.
asking me about the lady themselves. You're
Yes,
telling me that I should have
choice.
to blame the
Does she
person
have a
themselves.
choice?
And I'm telling you, no, they have the choice of what? Yes, of saying sleeping with me or
I
not?
blame both of them.
I don't. Yeah,
Yes.
why would you?
Why would I? The married Jada went out. She made a choice. Like, yeah, I'm getting tired. I
She
want something.
stepped out of her marriage.
And then she went to August.
What
and
does
just-
August have to do with
Did
it?
she put a gun to August's head and say, sleep with me?
Oh my.
Yes or no?
Bro.
No. He took that choice
No,
of literally
no.
saying, yes, you know
No,
what?
no.
Since you're lonely, I will come over there and I will sit there with you and do blah blah blah.
Yo, I don't
he
understand.
had a choice.
I don't understand what you're talking about right now.
I'm saying he had a
two
choice.
different places. Because I'm like, if there are two people in a marriage and one steps
They're
out
both
and cheats,
toxic. They're both toxic.
They both are toxic because they both
Exactly.
had toxic behavior, of course.
That's toxic
But I'm
behavior.
saying about the female right now, or male in any situation. Why do you care about who they cheated with? They
It doesn't matter. I'm
cheated.
just saying it doesn't matter who they cheated with. I'm just saying that person had a choice. That person that they went to had a choice. You
What
say
does that
yes or
matter
no.
though? I'm asking.
That
why does that
matters.
matter?
Like,
Why
listen.
does that matter?
Because yo,
Okay, if your girl walks out and she asks another dude to sleep with her, right? And the dude doesn't sleep with her, did she or did she not step out?
she did.
Exactly. So what does
That's
it
what
matter?
I'm
who she
not
said
disagreeing
no?
with you with that. I'm just saying
Okay.
that third party had a choice, yes or no?
I'm just saying, well, yeah, they had a choice.
Exactly, but you kept saying
asking
no.
about consent right now? Like,
No,
what's the question?
I'm not consent. I'm saying, did they have a choice, yes or no?
They had the choice of consent.
Say
yes.
yes or no.
They had a choice of
Exactly,
consent.
that's all I was saying.
Is that what you're saying? If that's all you're
saying,
saying, then that
Yes.
has nothing to do with him being a home wrecker. Has absolutely
she's a homewrecker, but also he displayed toxic niggas as well.
How?
How? Because you don't sit there and go to a married, like sit there and sleep with a married woman.
Yo,
if
just
she
because you're
asks
more
you.
than ethics say you don't doesn't mean everybody else who lives in that.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm just saying yes. But at the end of the day, you could have said no.
He could have. Of
said
course,
no.
he
What
could
did
have
he
consented
say?
to say no. Yes, in consent situations, he could have said no.
No.
But in everything else that we're talking about right now, we're talking about her stepping out of her marriage and the women. Way to segue into that bitch. The women who were basically saying, were hyping it up. You know what I mean? Like basically saying like, oh, word, that's what's up. I'm glad that she learned how to love herself in her struggle. What kind of bullshit is that? It Will did this shit, right? To some random
Will's
young
on record
girl.
too.
Yo, we'd have been already canceled. Will would have been as,
And we should cancel Jake.
and she's canceled for that man.
And August should be crucified as well.
I don't think he should be crucified. It doesn't matter about the third party person. That third party person doesn't matter.
But they had a choice. That's what I'm saying.
They had a choice of consent,
And
yes.
he said yes.
Yeah, and he
So
said
that's
yes,
it.
that you shouldn't be crucified for consenting to have sex.
I'm just saying it's not consenting to have sex. I'm just saying like, bro, you could have been like, nah, you're married. Like you're married. Like why?
Okay, so
why would I
he
sit there
said
and
to
do that?
himself, I'm lonely, I'm not having it.
August don't have to be lonely. August chose to be lonely.
Yo,
this
August
nigga
did
can
choose
sing
to be
his
lonely.
ass off.
Yes.
That's
he
all
did.
you have to do.
He did.
That's
he
all you
chose
have to
be
do.
lonely.
He can go into any female's inbox.
Yo, I'm sorry. I don't understand why this is a problem so much for you.
It's not a problem just saying like.
What is
we can
marriage
talk about
to
it.
you that's different from me?
Bruh,
Let's have
marriage-
that conversation.
Marriage, you sit there and for how? Okay, say that you got a girl, right? Y'all talked for what, like 4 or 5 months. Y'all got together, then y'all started dating, and y'all dated for like 5, 6+ years. Y'all decided to get married.
Whoa, it's 5, 6 years?
Probably 5, 6 years. Who
Okay.
gets married after 1, 2 years?
Oh, my grandparents got married after 8 months, so they were together for 40 years.
Did she get pregnant early?
No, she
Oh,
didn't get
I was
pregnant.
like,
early.
okay, never mind.
They didn't have sex back then until they were married. So it was 8 months to make sense.
Yeah, because
It
there's
was
also
made
shotguns.
for
You ever heard of
his
shotgun?
random thoughts,
You ever
yeah.
heard of shotgun weddings?
Yeah, I've heard of
Exactly,
those.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that
That could have been
happened
the
like a
reason.
month. Yeah.
Alright, so there's not a reason, that's a different story.
Where's
But
mom?
anyway, y'all 5, 6 years, y'all decided to get married.
Okay.
Okay. Boom, there you go.
5, 6 years married.
I don't know. It does. I just put out a random number.
I know. I'm not worried about number no more. I'm
so,
sorry.
So 5, 6 years. So they get married,
Uh-huh.
and then they're married. Let's say they go off married for like 10, 12 years.
Right.
Like 10, 12 years, and 10 to 12 years.
Okay, now I'm asking you some other number. Now you're saying 10, 12 years since they met each other, or 10, 12 years since they got married? Okay, so 17 years total. Gotcha.
So 17 years they've been together.
Right.
So you're saying in 17 years,
Mm-hmm.
17 years, you're gonna step outside of your comfort zone. Like, oh, you know what? Marriage is. I need something new, fresh in my life. Like, why would you do that? You did that. You stayed with this person for 17 years. After year 2, you could have been done with this person and moved on.
Why?
You decided to stay for 17 years.
You decided to
And
stay.
now you want to sit there and be like, you know what? Nah. Bro, like, if you
that's
didn't want
fucked up. That's
if
fucked
you didn't
up.
want to get married or you didn't want to stay with the same person, you could have just stopped talking to them or stopped dating them.
Okay.
You chose to keep going for 17 years strong. And now you want to sit there and be like, no, I'm done.
I'm
Like, bro, that's just dumb to me. If you sit there and want to marry the person of your dreams and you love your life, you should stay married to forever then, since you wanted to do that. Since that's the love of your life, you say that every single day you had kids by them, you bought this, that, you got this and that, y'all built a whole fucking empire together. Like, and then you just, 17 years, like, nah, I'm done. Like, what the fuck, man or woman, that's stupid as shit. Okay. That's a waste of time. In my opinion, you wasted 17 years of each other's time.
Really?
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I respectfully disagree completely with that statement, mostly because monogamy has always seemed to be more Western culture type of shit, not the rest of the world.
We're not Muslim.
Yeah, we're not Muslim, nor are we like European, or are we African descent, but mostly Western countries who focus on Catholicism, even though we hate the rest of the world and completely practice on destroying the rest of the world. We still preach monogamy, and monogamy is, again, a respectful union. I have no problem with people who are monogamous. If you want to get married, go ahead. That's cool. But what you're saying basically to me is that once you sign a contract to somebody, it's crazy for you to think that they would want to move on from that situation when you're not even in the relationship yourself at the moment. You know what I mean? Like right now, you're not even dating someone. But you think when you get married after 6 years of dating somebody, you still have you'll lose the mindset you have now. No one works like that. We are human. So basically, if you are
not
sparked,
everyone's the same.
if you're sparked by something, just because you decide that another spark is leading you a different way doesn't make you a horrible individual. Nor does it mean you wasted your time.
You basically wasted time.
I mean, that's only if you're the butthurt person in the relationship. And again, I'm coming from experience of having a mother who was in that, mother and father who was in that situation. Or like, after 2 years, they got divorced. And now I have another parents who've been married for the last 11 years. So I've seen both sides of marriages work out and like, seem to be fuzzy and things like that. And I've seen people who've been together for 25 years and the dude just gets up to a point, just wake up one day and just looks at his wife and like, yeah, I can't be here no more and walks out. I've seen that shit happen. I've seen that like divorce and like spill out into things like that. So I just have to I don't understand why you think that just because you signed a contract with somebody means that you never have to think about it.
So if you signed a contract with a team and you break the contract,
that's not the same thing as a team.
No.
As a team effort, that means you can go to the team and talk to the team.
Okay, say it's not a team. Say that you just signed to a company.
Right, you signed to a company.
So you can break the guidelines within that
100%. If the company's not
know the consequences of that.
If the company,
so you know the consequences of marriage as well.
Yes.
So there you go. It's basically the same thing.
It can't be the same thing, bro.
You break something in that contract, either a marriage contract or a business contract. You break something in there, there's consequences.
There's consequences to all actions. That is a true statement. Yes, I understand what you're saying. Does that make you a horrible person for like facing consequences?
Bro, if you breaking something in a contract that you sitting there like, you know
okay,
what?
So let's put it like this: your wife over there beating the shit out of you. Now again, this is not something that me and you would have to deal with because we're just not that kind of people. Because we're not weak-minded and weak spiritually like that. You know what I mean? So, but let's say your wife is out there beating the shit out you. I mean, she's putting the foot in the ass just all the time. That every time you don't do something right, foot in the ass. Just like grandma's cooking, foot in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, so if in that situation and some girl walks up to you and she sees you bleeding on the damn doorstep, and she pick you up,
and then you be like,
and you say no to some loving caring because the contract says you have to say no to this loving caring.
That's
monogamy. That's what monogamy sounds like.
That's kind of extreme.
Exactly.
Because they go the other way.
Even if the other way, there have been mobs of people beating the shit out of dudes because they put their hands on a girl. It's a.
But she goes
it's a
back
thing.
to them. She goes back to
And
them.
if they go back to him, that's just their weak-mindedness. That has nothing to do with anybody. But again, but let's not even go to the extreme of putting hands on it. If you are emotionally or spiritually not connected to that person anymore the way that you once were, and like basically you're not growing anymore, which is basically the same thing as them pushing you down because you can't grow in your field. And you go and you then experience life and have some more spiritual growth, have some more emotional growth, and you start to develop more as a person. That doesn't make you a shitty person. It makes you more smarter. It makes you a worker. It makes you work harder at yourself. We all have to live here. Might as well enjoy it while we're here.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. I'd rather enjoy this, like, yo.
I'm not getting beat the fuck up.
That's the difference. The difference is like I'd rather enjoy life and get like as soon as you're down. Get down.
Final thoughts on that.
Final thoughts I have to put like female toxicity should be just the same as they do for men. Like if they gonna say we ain't shit, then women at the same time have to be held up to the same standard of ain't shit us. That's my final thought of my Nathan. Monogamy is extremely suggestional, and for whoever party you live with, you have to talk with that. Like I'm in a monogamous relationship right now. Again, I talk like I'm not, but still, it's one of those things where like you should talk about as a couple. So you're not sitting there like P 17 years later wasted your fucking time.
I would say that's a waste of time.
Go ahead. What's
Me?
your final thoughts?
All this shit, yeah. Both parties, male and female. We need to stop this war between men and female. We need to stop talking shit to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But females, yo, held accountable. I saw something that made me mad. This girl was talking about like how men should be held accountable for like, I guess, being sexualized, that something like females got worried about practicing safe sex and this and that, and then males go off and they can be like, you can hit anything, and I was just like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, stop doing that
Yeah.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
We're not, stop. No one's doing that. No one's fucking doing that shit. Y'all gotta realize, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, some of y'all, most of y'all, are sitting there wanting to be IG thoughts, wanting to be thoughts on any social media, and then ask for respect from us,
Right.
and say that men ain't
Get
shit.
titties out, but I can't
And
act
then,
like you titties
yeah,
out.
you show your ass on and you put your ass on the sink.
I
Oh,
act
but
like
when a
you
guy
titties
goes
out.
up to you and you be like, oh no, you're gross. Like, no, you're stupid. Shut the fuck up. Like that is retarded.
He's
And then-
not wrong. I'm not.
and then we
I
got-
totally agree with this.
And
He's
we
not
got, and
wrong.
then y'all say that we worry about all just getting ass all the time and this, but y'all
It's
worry about,
always there.
but y'all worry about materialistic things. If a guy can't provide Prada, Gucci, a new car, or anything for you, then we ain't shit.
Toxic.
We broke.
Toxic.
But you go up to all the toxic niggas and they break your heart and then you want blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
That's like
Shut
when
up.
girls like. That's when girls like say that all dudes ain't shit, but we have to basically say no. The dudes that you pick ain't
Yeah,
shit.
you got like
You got
that
ain't-
Williams said,
Yeah, ain't shit pussy. That's what it is. Like don't act like we're the problem.
Yeah,
it's a pussy
It's
problem.
obviously some your aura.
Yeah, your aura
fucking
your
sucks.
spirit can bring in shitty ass dudes. It
Yeah.
can. It's done it before.
A shitty ass person get shitty ass people.
Yes.
That's how it goes. Well, even
Now,
shittier.
there are them girls who do get fucked up because they get like them dudes out there who be lying about who they
But
are.
that's their fault.
Like,
That's
Yo,
your
I
fault
don't
for believing
blame
it.
them.
If he can't sit there and show you within text messages on the first date,
Hey,
then don't talk to me about that.
yeah.
That's my.
I don't care how good of a
problem.
liar you are. People do have red flags.
Episode 6, big
People
red
have red
flags.
flags.
Episode 6, the random black kid, and I, AJ Johnson. Follow us on IG at Project Black Podcast. YouTube, like, share, subscribe.